Hi there, my name is Saavan Palee. I applied for an apprenticeship because I wanted a hands-on experience. I'm not a good learner just by seeing stuff visually. I just need to experience it hands-on. I need to have the whole, proper, not, I wouldn't just say experience, but I like to see people do it and be in an interactive environment. So I just think that's what's more up for me. So yeah, that's why I chose an apprenticeship at ITV Cymru Wales. I've always wanted to get into media, and I think this has been a very good step for that. Well, for me personally, I've found it to be. I didn't find it as difficult as I expected it to be. Sure, there were some little hassles and little, issues that I had, but that was because I work in a very busy environment. So, but my managers and my co-workers, they've been extremely kind enough to give me free time, not just on the learning blocks, but during work too, for finishing my skill work, and that's really helped me quite a lot. So it's not too hard. I think half of the work is done for your learning block, the actual theoretical bit, by just doing your actual work. Because most of the theoretical questions, the assignments that I had to do, the learning outcomes that I had to do, they were just based on my experiences and my knowledge. They were just testing what I had done practically. So most of it I found quite easy. It was just recounting my experiences, so it wasn't that difficult for me. I found that to be not that difficult personally. Not that it was quite a hassle. For me, it was a perfect segue from the academic world into a practical world, a professional setting. So I was already used to the idea of having teachers and assessors, and moving into the professional world, I wasn't too used to the idea of having managers and working under people and all that. So I didn't find it difficult personally, and I had a very good relationship with both my assessors and my managers, where I could speak openly to them. So as you know, I moved to Cardiff for this from Hertfordshire. Last year at the age of 17, and for me it wasn't very simple moving out at such a young age to a completely new place with no friends, nothing. But I think both these elements, speaking to them openly, has made it very easy for me, made it quite easy for me in that element. So I didn't actually find it difficult. I found it the opposite, actually, funny enough. Oh, there's quite a lot. I'm actually going through a highlight right now. So it's the election season, as you know. And the energy in here is absolutely bustling. And the election is tomorrow, the polling day. And it is going to be a very tense environment. I'll tell you that. There's we've got candidates everywhere. We're interviewing them and all that. And as our political correspondent says, the election night is one of his favourite nights, because that's when you see politicians for who they really are after the polling. So yeah, I'd say that's a highlight. It's wonderful to experience working in news and in this environment and this time specifically. Another thing was the news awards and meeting new people from the extended ITV family, from the ITN family, actually, the main presenters and all that. It felt surreal. What would I say? I received a standing ovation from the head of news, Michael Jeremy, for all of ITV, not just for Wales. After I PA'd my first time, he was around just to see everything, and funny enough, he was quite impressed. And yeah, I too, that was a highlight too. So there's honestly quite a lot. I just can't. If I had time, I would have gone more about it. That's a very hard question. Well, the 6 months that I'd probably expect myself to be deeper into news, into the production specialist kind of things, but I've also got other things lined up after. As you know, I don't think I've mentioned it in this meeting before, but I've got a placement at the National Theatre in August for 2 weeks for a summer course, and that's it was a very hard course to get into, but I'm very happy that I got in, and that might lead somewhere, you never know. It's honestly one of the most reputed institutions in the United Kingdom for arts. Another thing, I'm applying for many other aspects in media, not just the technical side of things. I'd like to be more involved in the creative side of things. I'm applying for the role of a presenter, actually, funny enough, over here for Backstage, which might or might not happen. I'm competing with actual adults who's got the same amount of experience as my age. So, but you know, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So, I guess I'm taking advantage of that. And yeah, I don't know. In 5 years, I definitely do see myself in the more creative side of things. But I'm very glad that I worked in the technical side of things, because it makes it easy for me to understand what the other side looks like too, and how it all connects. I would never have changed how I got into media. I loved it, and I'm very grateful for it. I think that being in production has taught me quite a lot, that if I started off in something like a more esoteric field, not as caught up as in the technical side of field, I'd have not had a proper idea of how things might have been. So yeah, I'm very grateful for that. But in 5 years of time, I see myself on different sides, in a different side in media. In my 12 months here, I can't lie, I have changed quite a lot. As you know, in my usually I was my plan was to go into sixth form of college, and this going in, meeting people my age, so meeting people who are not my age, very different age groups. It wasn't very smooth. I have to admit, I did struggle at first, especially because I didn't have any mates my age in Cardiff, but I wasn't one to complain about it. I take life as what it is, and it just an amalgamation of experiences, and it was a lovely experience meeting people older than me. I had more to learn from them than probably kids from my age. So I do have to say, moving to Cardiff has helped me mature quite a bit, living by myself for the first time in a city. I think Cardiff was the perfect city for me to live by myself for the first time, because in many ways it's not too extroverted or bustling, but it is just the right amount for you to not get bored and like have the city energy. But it's also quite tender, unlike London or maybe one of the bigger cities. You can actually feel for yourself. You have got time for yourself in the city. It's not as cold or unforgiving as London. Cardiff can be quite a nice city, and I love the fact that I moved here to grow up. So I think the past year has made me, let's just say, more of a man from a teenager. So yeah. This is what I've got to say. Thank you. I'm still yet to put it in a sentence to you guys, but I do have to say thank you guys. Thank you, Sgil Cymru, you, Claire, Nadine, Sue, Lisa, all of you. You've been very supportive, even Matt, in my career and my first step in media. And I wouldn't have been able to do it without Sgil Cymru. You guys were very supportive and very helpful, and you guys have helped me put lots of things into perspective. So yeah, that's one thing I have to thank Sgil Cymru for. Yeah.